Stones concert in the 1970s. You can get that now. That's worth a lot of money. You know, if like he died of a heroin overdose and he kept the fucking T-shirt at his mom's house, and she decides to sell it, that's worth a lot of money.
I've tried to hold on to things that I think I could sell down the road. Like I've still got I've got the strings that I recorded Richmond North of Richmond on my guitar. I almost threw them away. I was like, oh, hold on a second.
You could definitely
in
sell
hard
those.
times. Yeah, I may
you could
have
definitely
to
sell those. But that would be like an honest sale. People can't say, "Oh, he's a sellout."
yeah. I'm just selling junk I have. I'm considering selling my truck. Just if any, I don't know. I think we talked about this once before, but if somebody, it's worthless to me. It's got 325,000 miles on it in a salvage title, and I still daily drive it. But I thought, man, if I could sell this and somebody pay 50 grand for it or whatever and send it to to do.
It has a salvage title?
It does, yeah.
What happened? Did you buy it when it was already wrecked?
Well, now it's a 2007 Suburban. I paid a couple grand for it years ago. And then just here recently I had to have it towed. It broke down and the rollback driver, I guess, I don't know if he was under the influence or something or what, but he unhooked all the chains off and then tilted the bed back.
Oh,
so the whole truck rolled right off the back of the rollback.
Oh, no.
And it totaled the truck out. It bent a bunch of stuff under the drive shaft and the front of the frame and all. And, of course, I'm sitting there trying to figure out what to do with my truck, and here comes all the police. And they're like, oh, is that really you? Let's get it. So here I am. I'm on the phone with my insurance company, and then all these guys are coming up trying to take selfies with me and stuff.
That's hilarious.
Like, I guess this is the world I live in now. But
So can the truck be fixed?
It's drivable. Yeah, I'm driving it. It rides kind of like a covered wagon now. So it's at some point I'm going to have to upgrade.
Is the frame bent? Is the suspension bent?
The drive shaft in the back's bent. I think is what's causing it to shake.
Oh, so you got a wobble in your drive shaft?
It went straight. Yeah, I mean it went Dukes of Hazzard style off the back of the truck.
That drive as an adult, that show drives me nuts. Watching those cars land, like, what are you doing to those cars?
Well, hey, this one can do it. So
yeah, sorta.
Maybe I'll donate it to Whistling Diesel and just let him kill it. I don't know. It'd be pretty slick, but
well, you could do that. Or if someone is listening to this and they want to do something cool and they got the cheddar, buy it from you and then send it to Roadster Shop and have them put like a badass suspension in it and make it a real sleeper. They can do shit like that.
Because
you have to get all that replaced anyway. Why not replace it with like better shit?
It'd be cool for somebody to have it. It would have a cool story behind it,
This company called Roadster Shop, they've been on my podcast before. One of the things they do is they do like a sleeper series. I think they call it the Legend series. I'm actually not sure what they call it. But what they do is they'll take an old car. So the outside looks like shit. The outside is patina and rust and all that stuff. And then they'll just completely redo everything underneath it with like a crazy engine, insane brakes, insane handling and suspension. But it still looks like a 72 GMC pickup truck. Yeah. But underneath it, it's just a monster.
It's got all the modern amenities because new cars are so much more efficient. Like you don't realize when you.
So they do stuff like this, but they have different kinds of builds. No, so these are all just like the different ones that they did. Right. Survivor Series, that's what it is. The Survivor Series. Well, so I think the Survivor Series, that's what it is. Like they leave the outside.
It's interesting to me that older vehicles had so much more character. Like I don't know if it's just that it's
people who are doing drugs, bro. That's what it is. We nailed it with them. We sat down with them and they introduced me to all these people that were the designers back in GM in the day. Yeah. This guy was a freak. He was wearing like crazy red suits and this crazy guy was probably definitely on acid. And these are the people that created these insane shapes. And then when the sweeping Psychedelics Drug Act of 1970 came along, they made everything a Schedule I drug.
Yeah, and that is when cars went downhill.
It is when cars went downhill.
It was early 70s, yeah.
Yes. You can get a 71 Barracuda and it's still sick. But you get into like 72, 73,
yeah.
Those cars look like shit. 75, they're garbage. 79, they're done. Everyone's on coke. Everyone thinks everything they do is amazing. It's just, you get the movie Showgirls.
Everything lost its art, and it became focused more on algorithms of what's going to sell and what's more efficient and what's better to produce. And it's
sort of, but back then I don't even think they had data they were going on. They were going on past success. So if you go to like the 1980s, some of the worst movies that were ever made, like the cocaine years, Those I really strongly feel like those people were going on reputations of sales, and the studio would put a lot of money behind someone who had a great reputation, and this guy's fucking partying and doing lines and writing crazy shit in these scripts, and some of them are good and some of them aren't so good, but they're all kind of clunky. They're all kind of disconnected. That like a true masterpiece of a movie isn't. Like Taxi Driver. Like you go back and watch Taxi Driver, that's a masterpiece of a movie. It's so connected. You're connected to all the action. It's like you're on the edge of your seat. It's wild. The acting's insane. Even Jodie Foster as a kid is insane in it. It's so good. But cocaine movies in the 80s, like, they were nuts, man. They didn't go on algorithms. I think they just went on what they thought people wanted. They probably took polls, but who the fuck's answering polls? Polls are the worst way to get information because you're only getting information from people dumb enough to answer polls. Like, that's such a small group of people. How many people answer polls when they call you up? How many fucking people with a life have time for a poll? Do you think Jordan Peterson has ever answered a poll?
Yeah, like I always get those calls and immediately hang up.
Yeah, you just shut the fuck up. I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but bye. No, don't hang up. Some of them will beg. Please.
Yeah,
they can't get anybody to do it.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see throughout history times when people were able to really connect with other humans, like on that, like whether it's through movie or film or cars or whatever. It's like maybe it was the psychedelics or whatever, I don't know, but there was a huge disconnect